everybody? Uncle Black 215 from everything that you know me from, here to talk about AEW Worlds End. I just got finished watching it, and boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Okay, if you didn't get a chance to see it, you missed one hell of a product. Okay, now I will start off by saying this. They might need to change the name of this pay-per-view from AEW Worlds End to AEW. Hey, everybody who wasn't on TV for the last couple months, do you want to return tonight? That's probably too long. I'm sure that probably won't work. But listen, we had a lot of returns on AEW Worlds End, and listen, we got to get through it all. So today's conversation is our review of AEW Worlds End. Buckle up, y'all. We're going to be here for a second. First match on the card was Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in the semifinals of the Continental Classic. And I feel like I was on a roll in my predictions because just as I predicted, Will Ospreay, after a brutal, bloody back and forth contest between him and Kyle Fletcher, he won and he advanced to the finals of the Continental Classic. Now, who would he be facing? Well, the match was right after, so we'll get to that in due time. Up next was the other semifinal match in the Continental Classic. It was Ricochet taking on the Rainmaker, the defending Continental Crown champion, Kazuchika Okada. And this match, again, I was on a roll here as far as predicting the matches and what happened tonight, because after back and forth contest where Ricochet pretty much was just showing off how much of a dick he is and pretty much how unbothered Okada is in anything he's doing in AEW. Okada got the W, and looky here. As I predicted, the finals was Will Ospreay taking on Kazuchika Okada for the Continental Classic Championship, the winner of the C2, whatever you want to call it. And looky here, when we get to that match, I can't wait to tell you what happened. Before we move on to the next match, something did happen, and I almost forgot to mention it. Ricochet, after he lost the match, somebody threw toilet paper in the ring. Somebody made this a thing to where we're just throwing toilet paper at Ricochet. And, of course, Swerve Strickland came out and interrupted, even though, Ricochet was on his way to leave the ring. And he basically said, hey, listen, I told you when you lost, I was going to clean up the mess you made. And Prince Nana came out with some tissue, a wagon full of tissue, and gave it to everybody in the front row. And y'all ain't going to believe this, man. They wished Ricochet a Happy New Year and threw all the toilet tissue in the ring. Ricochet said that if it wasn't for him, AEW wouldn't exist. Figuratively, they just shat on him. But also at the same time, this is perfect. This Ricochet character, this is all the heat that you need. And now when Ricochet snaps and goes bad, it's perfectly justified. I can't wait to see what that looks like. Next match on the card was MJF taking on Adam Cole for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And 4 for 4 with this one, ladies and gentlemen, because there was no way that MJF was losing this match. He's the only man in AEW history to hold the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And he probably will be the only man to hold that Dynamite Diamond Ring. But that does not stop that this match here was as good as it was gonna be. I mean, listen, this feud was plagued by injuries left and right, and it only started and stopped the momentum time and time again. And I can tell you this for sure, after watching what I saw, those guys went out there and did everything they could to see that this feud ended with a bang. And looky here, okay, with the color, with the selling, with the joint manipulation and the targeting of the leg here, this match had everything you could ask for. Storytelling beyond storytelling. And like I said, MJF, he won. But we weren't done there. No. MJF cut the music and said, verbatim, I want everybody to hear when I break your effing leg. That's what he said. And as he was getting ready to, Pillmanize the leg of one Adam Cole, this is where the return started. I told you this was a night of returns. We get the return of Roderick Strong. He hits the ring and he's ready to throw fisticuffs and get in there with Max, but Max runs away, goes up the ramp, and he tries to hop. And then we also get another return because Kyle O'Reilly appears on the rampway, and they take MJF, throw him back in the ring, and Adam Cole gets his revenge, and MJF gets his just desserts, and we get a reunion with everybody: Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom. Everybody's back. Everybody's happy. So even though Adam Cole lost, did he really lose? Yeah, he lost. If you're still watching, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And if you already haven't, please go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and comment below what was your favorite moment from AEW Worlds End. And now moving on, the next match was the Tijuana Street Fight between Mariah May, defending the AEW Women's World Championship, against Thunder Rosa. And I'm going to be honest, y'all, I'm a little tired, and I really don't want to have to do this, but I'm going to have to go to my notes for this match here because it was pretty good. But the Tijuana Street Fight between Mariah May and Thunder Rosa had a little bit of everything. Thunder Rosa's dad at ringside, shout out to her dad, holding it down, doing the best that he could to cheer on his baby girl, and Mariah May looking as glamorous as she could. And honorable mention for the pinata of thumbtacks. But of course, the finish, it was a pile driver off the apron through a table to the floor. And of course, in the Tijuana Street Fight, falls counted anywhere. So Mariah May got the victory. 1, 2, 3. And still, your AEW Women's World Champion, Mariah May. And I'm 5 for 5. Can I go 6 for 6? Let's find out. The next match was possibly my favorite match second favorite match of the entire night, and you'll find out. It was Powerhouse Hobbs taking on Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW International Championship. And I didn't expect this match to be as good as it did, because Hobbs and Takeshita went out there, and this was, to quote Simon Miller, big meaty men slapping meat. Hopefully I can get away with that. Simon, don't sue me, brother. But it was very, very captivating, because this was the only match where, in regards to my predictions, I wanted to be wrong upon watching it. But I wasn't, after a serious back and forth and too many near falls for my little heart, because I thought Hobbs was going to win. I really did think he was going to get it, but he didn't. The Alpha, Takeshita, retains the International Championship. And I'm on a roll here. So I feel like I'm gonna clean sweep this thing here. Let's see what happens, because the next match, tis a doozy. Next matchup on the card is possibly the sleeper match of the night for those who didn't see it. Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander 2 for the TBS Championship. Now, so many near falls in this contest where I didn't even know what we was gonna do next, and the selling that Mercedes Moné possesses has honestly turned me into a fan of hers. Now, a lot of people could say that she corny, that she trash and all that, but the in-ring work speaks for itself, okay? And listen, I haven't been wrong yet. Mercedes Moné did retain the TBS Championship after a hell of a back and forth. And listen, no woman lost this match, okay? Nobody lost. Next is the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, defending the Continental Classic crown in the finals against Will Ospreay. Now, please excuse my notes. I want to make sure that I remember everything I said in the moment. And Will Ospreay, right? This nasty guy. he never washed off the blood from the Kyle Fletcher match. So he was just a bloody mess, wrapped in rags, coming to the fight. And Okada couldn't just be any more bothered at all. But I can say that the blood and the bandages made Will Ospreay look like a badass. I will give him that. And as far as I'm concerned, the near falls in this match were almost as crazy as the ones in the match before. But the biggest near falls I can recall was when Will Ospreay kicked out of the Rainmaker. And the back and forth was amazing. And just as I said, I predicted every single match up until now, because Okada has won 5 major wrestling tournaments in his career, winner of the Continental Classic, and he retains that Continental Classic Championship. But that's not all that happened here. As I said earlier, this was the night of returns, and everybody and their mama was coming back, okay? So out of nowhere, as Okada is celebrating, we get Christopher Daniels on the stage, and he says, hey, I would love to come down there and hand over the Continental Championship to you, but I'm no longer an EVP. But then he says, but he is. Who else? But we get the return of Executive Vice President Kenny Omega. And listen, this crowd, the roof on this building popped off when the music hit. And Kenny came out to an amazing ovation, and he walked down the ramp and handed the Continental Championship over to Okada with no problem. And I didn't know what to expect from this, but the camera was panning over at the All In sign for Vegas, so Global Life Field may be looking at a huge match. Maybe. I don't know. But this was only one of the many big returns of the evening. I can't wait until you hear about the other one. And I can't wait till you hear about our main event, because that's up next. And the main event is here, ladies and gentlemen. Fatal 4-way match for the AEW World Championship. As advertised, it was Moxley, Hangman, Jay White, and Orange Cassidy in an all-out war to see who runs the roast here at AEW. And back to the notes here, I just want to say, as far as Jon Moxley is concerned, don't you just love how Moxley is running things here just as he would? Because I don't think WWE will let him do it exactly how he's been able to do it in AEW. So I just like to see that, knowing how Roman's doing, knowing how Seth's doing, and now to see Mox just, ruling with an iron fist and, making AEW his. So I just wanted to shout out Jon Moxley for that. And, this match had a lot of surprises, people everywhere. You saw Christian Cage sitting up in the skybox with his AEW championship contract. You saw Hook up in the skybox watching Christian, making sure that he didn't do anything. And listen, in the beginning of the match here, okay, Moxley didn't stand a chance. They was jumping him. They even gave him the Shield powerbomb through the announce table. It was looking dire at first, but eventually everything would come around for the World Heavyweight Champion Moxley. Now listen, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of pandemonium, and it all ended when Marina Shafir got in the ring to run interference. And Jay White, that brother Jay White hit her with a Blade Runner. And why did he do that? Because now that led to the Death Rider from Jon Moxley. And 1, 2, 3, Jon Moxley retains the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I have guessed every single match on this pay-per-view to the T. Now, what I didn't guess was the return, because a fight broke out. The Death Riders came out to destroy everybody, and FTR made an appearance. They did not come alone. They were joined by a friend, a good friend. Adam Copeland, the Rated R Superstar, returned, and he speared Moxley, and we went off the air with Adam Copeland calling out Moxley to say that, hey, the The war's just getting started. And that was AEW Worlds End. I'm going to be honest, I am very, very tired. I'm going to go lay down and get some sleep. But, you know, we got to get ready for Monday Night Raw on Netflix and AEW on Max. So, streaming, get ready. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on everything at Uncle Black 215. Pull up the Gorilla.com. Please subscribe. And with all that, wherever there's wrestling, there's 2.5 hills. Whew, I'm tired.